Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I want to talk about in this video is Microsoft's way of trying to get Android users to convert to Windows 10 Mobile. Now, recently they released Windows 10 like several months ago, and then it's also going to be on mobile devices as well. So it's the mobile version of Windows 10, and Microsoft is trying to come up with a solution, trying to get Android users to go into Windows 10 Mobile. Now, the way they did that is they made an app called App Comparison in the Google Play Store. And that's just a brief look at the app right there. Actually, that's not even the home page right there. The home page, after you go through the setup process, hit next and all that, is actually the list of categories that you can actually select right here on what kind of apps you want to check to see that are in Microsoft's Windows Phone Store. Now, I just downloaded the app today because I just found out about this today, and I haven't played around with it too much to really get a good feel for if it would actually convince me to go to a Windows 10 mobile device. But just by taking a brief look at it, and plus, this is not the same for everybody. It depends on what kind of apps you have installed on your Android device, how many apps you have installed, and what you look for in terms of application support. And for me, when it tries to find my matches, I got a list of match apps right there, as you can see, and then I got another category for recommended apps as well. And just by looking at it, it doesn't seem to be that bad, but to me, I would feel like it's not convincing for me to switch to Windows 10 Mobile due to the lack of app support, which I find it strange because I figure like the apps that come from Windows Phone 8 and Windows Phone 8.1 would be backwards compatible with Windows 10 Mobile, which I'm pretty sure it is. But it seems like Microsoft has been getting a lot of app developers into their app marketplace. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never used a Windows mobile device before. I've never used the first Windows mobile device that was out there. I've never used the Windows Phone 7 device or Windows Phone 8 or 8.1 device, and I still have not yet touched a Windows 10 mobile device. I want to one day, because I use PCs, as you guys can see. I've also played around with Macs, even though I don't own one, but I have played around with them. I played around with iPhones. I played around with Android devices now. I'm willing to try everything, including BlackBerry devices. And while Microsoft is trying to use this app to convince people to switch to Windows 10 Mobile, at least they're starting. What am I talking about? At least they're trying to do something to get more customers into their ecosystem, and basically just trying to get people on the Windows mobile devices. But the problem is that it looks like, to me, they don't have a lot of app developer support, so therefore this is also going to convince people to stick with their device and not even bother to make the move at all, because I think the issue is that let's face it, a lot of people are buying phones these days, not just for call quality and for data network speeds and text messaging, but they also want to buy it for apps as well, whether it's games, productivity, lifestyle, navigation, you name it, traveling. It don't matter. A lot of people are buying smartphones these days for apps, and Microsoft is not getting a lot of app support in their app store for their Windows mobile devices. And I'm not 100% sure why that is. Maybe it might have something to do with the SDK that they provide for developers to create the apps. Let's face it, the top two would be Android and Apple. And I've heard Apple's SDK is easier to make apps for. Android's SDK is easier to make apps for. What I do know is Apple, you do have to pay a subscription fee each year. Android, I've heard you don't have to pay anything at all, and pretty much anyone can just make an app. I'm not 100% sure how I believe in that, but at the same time, it could be truthful, because think about it. Android is based off of a Linux operating system, and Linux is an open source operating system. So, therefore, pretty much, I'm sure anybody can play around with it. As far as Windows Mobile is concerned, it's not Linux based, it's Windows based. Therefore, you have some limitations right there. So, I don't know. Do you guys think that with this app that Microsoft has created in the Google Play Store, is it really going to try to get people to go into Windows 10 Mobile? Because I'm pretty sure they would have to go further into doing that versus just making an app saying, okay, here are the match apps that are on your device that you can get in the Windows Phone Store. I feel like they really have to step back and figure out, okay, what can we do to get more apps in our app store, getting people to go to a Windows mobile device. Now, I mean, let's face it, you got some nice devices out there with a Windows mobile operating system on it, and people would buy for the camera, people would buy for call quality, people would buy for the size of the phone, for the usability, because it seems like to me, Windows mobile operating systems is very similar to iOS, where it just works, but it's in a completely different ecosystem. But I could be wrong about that. You know, like I said before, I really have to get the device in my own hands just to try it out. I mean, I got a laptop back there, my Lenovo E540 with Windows 10 Pro on it. Then I have this Sony right here with Windows 7 Home Premium. But other than that, you know, these are PCs. We're talking about phones right here. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's really going to have a big impact that'll really convince people, you know, to get this app and then see if their apps really match? And if they do, then they'll more than likely to be switched. Me personally, I don't think so. I think Microsoft will have to go further into that. But at the same time, their operating system, I do know for a fact, is slowly growing in terms of the consumer's concerned. It's just not growing as rapidly as you know, Apple and Android. No matter what, those are going to be the top two mobile operating systems. Unless if Microsoft can do something to get on par with them, then they'll be the top three. And that's what I would like to see, is the top three. And you know, the same goes for BlackBerry. With their new BlackBerry Priv, or if they can get their own operating system back up there, then that'll be the top four. Then people got four top choices to choose from. What do they want their mobile device to be? So that's it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. Also check out my description below for my social media links, Twitter and Instagram. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.